Hey, good morning. Just a quick, I think it's going to be quick. I don't know if it's going to be quick. It could be half an hour. I don't know, but it's not, I don't think so. I think it's going to be quick talk about friends. I was just getting ready to go on a hike this morning and with my friend. and uh, and we got into a pretty deep conversation that challenges, because it was around beliefs and look, if you're, I got to tell you, if you're going to be my friend, we're going to get into conversations, and I have a history of being challenging to be around, and what came out of it, because sometimes challenging conversations seem to threaten our friendship because we're like, the terms of the friendship are that we don't challenge each other, right? No, wrong. Well, I think it's wrong anyway. I mean, right, wrong, whatever. But even the idea of friends, I'm not sure that I understand that. But do you tell me? Do you have any friends? And in your relationships with your friends, can you have challenging conversations? Can you have conflicting beliefs? I mean, all my thing, if you will, is to go past the beliefs. But if we don't look at them, how can, it seems that we need to somehow look at them to drop past them, to examine them, to say, oh shit, or our stories about ourselves, don't you know who I am? I'm I'm whatever my heritage, I'm Scottish, and Scots are frugal. And we have a story about the Scots, Anyway, so beliefs. Anyway, in friends. And we got deep into that conversation. And I realized that, since I was a kid, the story was that I don't have any friends. And it's been a story that's been there for, and it still lingers, I just look, maybe you look at that. What do you think? Have you ever had that story? Has that story ever came up for you around relationships and friendships? When we talked about, we challenged each other a bit because my friend has a heritage. Do you mind if I talk about this?
Go ahead.
Okay. Of she has an indigenous heritage and is officially Métis, and so we got into talking about things like the residential schools and what the people of the day, in my limited perspective, where were they coming from when that was going on, and my experience with lots of folks is that they think they're helping, they're trying to help, and it seems that if that was the attitude of the time, it didn't go very well, didn't go very well at all, and so we get into that conversation, and I don't have a lot of expertise in that field, and yet I think generally people have big hearts and we want to be helpful, and I don't think that that's changed much. I think that anyway, so we all was deep. We banged it around, and I was talking over her, and she didn't quite threaten to leave, but but so things like that challenge your friendships, right? And we talked about a friend I used to have, that I believe I challenged her a lot, and maybe it's not my business to challenge. Maybe it's not my business to challenge people, but I find that I think what comes up for me if I don't challenge, we're all. It seems like my job. It feels like my job, to challenge people on their beliefs, and to challenge people where they're stuck. I have another buddy right now that just is really caught up in the whole conspiracy thing, and gonna take his family and live in the bush, and I'm like, Jesus, slow down, like everything shifts anyway. But I feel like back to friends, I think that if I don't agree with him, that it can be the end of our friendship, and so we put terms and conditions around our friendships. I wonder what it was like. Today is Remembrance Day, and I'll bet back at the time, the last, the two great wars, the First and the Second World War. Imagine they called them great, but the conditioning that must have been happening at the time, that young men were going to go to war, and I'm sure there were people who didn't agree. There had to have been people who didn't agree, and I know in the United States they were late coming in is a way. We were said they were late, they came when they came, but and many millions of people died. Well, they were trying to figure out whether they wanted to get involved or not, and so there must have been a lot of people against the idea, and friendships were probably shattered. So how do we continue to love each other and be friends even when we don't agree, even when we're, and for me, I mean, what's happened for me is to drop into the moment. In the moment, in this moment, there's no need for friends, if you will, because we're there. It isn't about friends. We're friends are kind of it's kind of a term through time, and we're, as we drop all of our conditioned beliefs and all of our againstness and all of our things that we're for, our positions, and we allow ourselves to experience life in this moment. It's bliss. It's like, holy shit, it's freedom, and just talking about it, I feel the tightness leave my body, and it's just like, wow. But yeah, and so here we are, November 11th, and saluting those who did saddle up and go to war, that stepped in. My dad was there, and we've honored him all his life for that decision. And yet I do believe there probably was lots of folks who didn't agree with the idea, and they went anyway. And so history, of course, doesn't talk about the guys that didn't agree, and that's okay. It's just the way it is. Here we are now, and it's been. I was born in the 50s. And so not that long after the end of the Second World War, imagine, and we grew up in the shadow of it, really, and anyway, so friends, can we love each other and be friends when we don't agree? Can we? What does it mean to be a friend? For me. It's an interesting thing, because there's the old ego that says, David, you don't have any friends. Or we judge ourselves by how many friends we have, or who we're friends with. I know I've just rambled all over the place, but just give us some thought. Friends, if we have this relationship with the moment or God of our understanding, then we're just there in love. The possibility is to be here in love in each moment. Boom. And nothing's missing. Right? And who can we serve? How can we be here in love in each moment? Yeah. Okay, love you guys, all of you. Even if we haven't met, right? Imagine that. And so we're friends. What does friends mean? It's a kind of a weird word, isn't it? Okay, crazy time. Love you guys. Just drop into the moment. Be here now. We got lots of stories to tell you the next couple of days. Got all kinds of really cool shit happening. Going to take a course. Going to write a course. Got a bunch of stuff that that's come up. It feels like a new era, a new time, um, and I'm just going with the flow. I know from my experience that if I run the show, from my ego, from wanting or desire or fear, it's always, it doesn't work. But if I allow it to not allow it, if it just comes through me, then it's amazing. If I'm present, and the possibilities are endless. So I pray to be present, to be in love. Mm. And for any of you out there who feel that you've been my friend, if I've ever offended you, I love you. I'm sorry. In my opinion, it was not my intention to ever offend. Thanks.